Every single basketball fan is completely focused on massive blockbuster trades right now. People want to see the front office chase massive names after a very tough playoff elimination. They want a savior. Fans are constantly throwing around names like Giannis and Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard. Those massive star players would obviously change the entire dynamic of the team, but chasing them might be a massive mistake for the front office. You need to look at recent history to understand the actual path to a championship. The most important move this franchise made was not a flashy blockbuster deal at all. It was a very quiet transaction that completely shifted the culture. We need to talk about the trade deadline in 2022. That was the exact moment the front office acquired Derrick White from the San Antonio Spurs. Nobody threw a parade when that news broke on television. He was viewed as a solid role player who was stuck on a very bad team in Texas. He was definitely not seen as an elite defender or a game-changing talent. He was just a guy trying to find his place in the league. The Spurs were using him incorrectly and forcing him to carry too much of the offensive burden. He was completely overburdened and underappreciated in that specific system. Boston saw an opportunity to buy low on a hidden gem. Brad Stevens gave up almost nothing to bring him to the city. The front office traded away Josh Richardson and Romeo Langford. They also included a late first-round draft pick and a distant future pick swap. Looking back at that transaction today makes it look like an absolute robbery. That small price brought in a player who became a critical piece of a championship puzzle. He became a gold medalist and a perennial defensive anchor. He is now widely regarded as one of the best complementary stars in the entire sport of basketball. The value he provides on his current contract is simply unbelievable. He is the exact blueprint for building a winning basketball team. This brings us to the most important mission for the front office this summer. Brad Stevens and his team must be completely laser-focused on finding the next Derrick White. Do not need another superstar who demands the ball. They need a versatile role player who is ready to take a massive leap forward. The current collective bargaining agreement makes team building incredibly difficult. The new financial rules heavily punish teams that spend too much money. It is more vital than ever to have young players who completely outperform their contracts. Finding guys who play above their pay grade is the only way to survive the new financial landscape. The ultimate key to sustained success. The front office already has some great players on minimum deals and rookie-scale contracts, but they have the assets to make a very calculated move right now. They possess traded player exceptions and a surplus of young wing players. They also have future draft capital that they can attach to a deal. They need to find a young prospect who is currently misused by their coaching staff. They need to identify someone begging for a change of scenery. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the front office strategy, please like the video and subscribe so we can keep bringing you the best basketball coverage possible. Finding that hidden gem is incredibly difficult work. If the answer was obvious, then every single team would be trying to make the same trade. But the front office in Boston has some of the brightest minds in the entire industry. They know exactly what traits to look for in a player. There are a few names around the league that fit this specific profile perfectly. Trey Murphy III from New Orleans is a fantastic example. He has incredible size and shooting ability but might want a bigger role soon. Peyton Watson from Denver is another incredibly intriguing target for the front office. He is a defensive menace who is stuck behind established veteran players on a contender. He just needs consistent minutes to truly shine. Cason Wallace from Oklahoma City fits this exact same description. He is an amazing defender, but the Thunder have too many talented guards on their roster, with more responsibility in a different environment. Najee Marshall is another physical wing player who could take a massive leap in the right system. All of these players are currently on a trajectory to become borderline stars. They are much further along than White was in San Antonio. Because they are further along in their development, they will definitely cost more to acquire. The asking price for any of these young guys will be very high. Opposing front offices know exactly how valuable these players are today. This is exactly why Brad Stevens gets paid the big bucks to run the organization. He has to navigate these difficult conversations and find the absolute best value. He has to balance the present needs with the future of the franchise. The idea is very simple, but the execution is incredibly complex. Boston must target the absolute perfect player and use all the financial tools at their disposal. They cannot afford to make a mistake with their remaining assets. Executing a quiet trade for a high-intelligence role player could have a massive impact. It would be far more important than any loud blockbuster move the team could possibly make. It is the smartest way to build a sustainable dynasty. We have seen countless super teams fail because they lacked proper depth in defense. You need players who are willing to sacrifice their personal statistics for the greater good of the roster. That is how you win in the month of June. The entire league is searching for players who fit this exact mold. The competition to acquire these young rising stars will be extremely fierce this summer. Boston has to act quickly and decisively before someone else makes a move. The front office proved they can identify talent that other teams overlook. They have earned the trust of the city with their recent track record of success. Fans need to be patient and trust the process during the offseason. Do not get distracted by the loud rumors and the fake trade proposals on the internet. Keep your eyes on the quiet moves that fly under the radar. The next missing piece is probably someone you are not even thinking about right now. We will be tracking every single rumor and roster move as the summer progresses. The front office is working silently to build the best possible team for the future. The next chapter of this franchise is going to be incredibly exciting.